Every investigation starts with a profile. It's not enough to gather evidence. You need to understand who the suspect really is, what drives him, what makes him different. And our suspect is Hades, brother of Zeus and Poseidon, ruler of a kingdom most dared not to describe. He wasn't fond of sunlight. He had no grand temples, no loud festivals. Even his name was rarely spoken. People preferred nicknames like Pluton, the wealthy one. Because beneath the earth, he guarded not only the souls of the dead, but also hidden treasures, fertile crops, precious metals, the riches of the unseen. Some remembered him as the abductor of Persephone, a crime by modern standards. But to the ancients, that story explained the cycle of the seasons, winter and spring, death and rebirth. Behind the violence was a law of nature. Hades wasn't a sadist, nor a torturer. Punishments were left to others. He was the custodian, the arbiter, the one who made sure rules were followed. Every soul got what it deserved, no bribes, no favoritism. To the human psyche, he became more than a god. He was an archetype, not only Lord of the Dead, but the guardian of what we keep buried, fears, desires, memories. Hades isn't just the end. He's the encounter with our own shadows, and no one escapes that. Every case has witnesses, and in this file, the most famous ones are heroes and poets who claim to cross his gates. Orpheus sang so beautifully that he calmed Cerberus, even softened Hades himself. He was given a chance to bring his love back, until doubt made him turn too soon. Heracles told of a direct confrontation, descending, wrestling Cerberus with his bare hands, and surviving. Hades did not stop him, as long as the rules were respected. Theseus and Pirithous tried to steal Persephone. They were trapped instantly. No mercy, no second chances. Aeneas, guided by the Sibyl, gave us a detailed map. Corridors, punishments, blessed souls, and even hope. The underworld wasn't only damnation, it was also a waiting room for rebirth. And then Odysseus, who summoned the spirit of Tiresias among shadows and blood. For him, the underworld wasn't a prison, but an archive of knowledge. Different stories, same pattern. Hades grants, listens, and punishes violators. Neutral, strict, always faithful to his role. Picture the crime scene, the point of entry. For the Greeks, the gates of the underworld weren't metaphors. They were real places, caves, lakes, dark openings still visible today. To cross them was to step into another world, and often never return. Guarding the threshold was Cerberus, the three-headed hound. Not just a beast, but a perfect symbol of the boundary. No one enters without permission. No one leaves without consequence. Beyond the gates lay the Styx, the river of oaths. Charon waited with his boat, hand out for payment. The dead carried a coin on their chest. No coin, no passage. Death wasn't just pain, it was a debt to be paid. Every investigator looks for physical evidence, and in Hades' case, the evidence was there, in the landscape itself. At Hierapolis in Turkey, the Plutonian was a cave of death. Invisible gases killed animals instantly. Priests claimed it was the god's breath. Science tells us it was carbon dioxide. But to the ancients, it was undeniable proof. In Epirus, the Necromantean stood like a labyrinth. Pilgrims entered, fasting, drinking strange potions, guided into trance. There, the living could speak with the dead. At Cumae in Italy, the Sibyl's cave was a carved tunnel, echoing with prophecy. Nearby, Lake Avernus, shrouded in fumes, was so deadly that no bird dared fly across. These weren't faraway myths. They were sites you could visit. Nature itself seemed to mark the border. Toxic air, dark waters, endless caverns. For the ancients, the case was closed. Hades' realm was right beneath their feet. If those were the places, what about the rituals? What did people actually do? There were no grand festivals for the god of the underworld. Too dangerous to invoke him openly. Rituals were small, secret, and precise. Black animals were sacrificed with heads bowed. Libations poured straight into the soil, messages dripping down to the unseen. And then there were the Eleusinian mysteries, one of the greatest cults of the ancient world. There, the myth of Demeter and Persephone was retold as the key to life, death, and rebirth. Hades was never called by name, but his shadow was always present. He was the silence that made the cycle meaningful. We've followed the evidence. We've heard the witnesses. Time for the verdict. Hades isn't the monster of shadows that later stories made him out to be. He isn't a sadistic torturer. He isn't the demon hunting the dead. He is the warden, the neutral judge, the keeper of order. Every testimony paints him the same way: strict, impartial, incorruptible. Every site linked to his name carries fear, but also truth. Every symbol points to an archetype that still haunts our minds today. The verdict is clear. Hades is not guilty. He is inevitable. He is the ending we all share, but also the key that gives life its meaning. And so, the file is closed. The forgotten brother of Zeus and Poseidon wasn't a criminal, but the silent guardian of the oldest boundary in the world. If you know more or have theories, let us know in the comments. We read them all. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more mysteries like this one.